First at 5, the uphill battle to prevent a sexually violent predator from being released into Placer County continues. Community members are fighting for him to be moved elsewhere, citing concerns for their families and their children. ABC 10's Roxanne Elias is live in Auburn at the Placer County Community Development Agency. And Roxanne, you've been following this story from the start. Tell us what happened today.
We have, Laura, about 40 people were able to voice their concerns here and share their previous experiences that they have had with William Stephenson. The common theme here is they're all worried and they don't want him living in their neighborhood. After a number of court hearings on the release of sexually violent predator William Stephenson, a second formal community meeting rang out with the voices of residents fighting back.
I'm here because I lived in the neighborhood where Mr. Stephenson lived the first time he was released. And he offended, and now they are considering releasing him again. And that's a huge concern.
This was back in 2014 when Bonnie Gore lived in Roseville. Stephenson had been released from custody at the time, only to reoffend again 3 years later. She and her neighbor were present at today's meeting, recounting stories of his previous behavior.
That's when my son would come up to me and tell me there's a man on the window looking down. And that was one. And then the other time I went out there to let the dog out and he was exposed on his window, wide open.
A judge ordered the Department of State hospitals to hold more of these meetings to bring the public into the decision-making process.
There was an anticipation of a lot of information about locations that we might hear about, and we didn't hear about any. So I think there was a lot of disappointment today.
Morgan Geyer, the Placer County District Attorney, has been fighting this all along. He says Liberty Healthcare and the Department of State hospitals are required to find a location that works for Stephenson to live. But none seem to be working.
A number of those locations that they search for are close to schools and other things that legally prevent the houses from working. And of the homes that they have felt met those guidelines, they just end up not working for one reason or another.
He says one of the major concerns is the lack of information being made available to the public, but they want to have their input heard.
He's not from Placer County. He's only being released here because the state says he used to live here when he was released. Now he has to be placed here. But they have not found a location for him. They've looked at over 1,300 places in Placer County. It's time to look someplace else.
There is a court hearing happening next week where the judge has scheduled a status conference to check in with the Department of State Hospitals, Liberty, and the Housing Committee here just to kind of get an update. Now, he has said that he is going to release Stephenson at some point, but it does have to be under the right circumstances. Laura?
Roxanne, certainly a lot of moving parts of this story. We know you will be tracking the latest developments. Roxanne Elias, thank you.